Wednesday, June 28th. Let's talk about CNN. They're in the news again. The news organization is in the news. Seems that these days every news organization is fake news, according to Donald Trump, except for Fox and maybe a couple others. And everybody's on top of everybody, and who knows who to trust and what to trust. It's really kind of a sad situation out there. But recently the other day, CNN fired some reporters. An editor resigned because they put up a false story about Anthony Scaramucci, who is um, a private equity guy, and basically implied or stated that he was in cahoots with the Trump administration to try to do something with the Russians before the election, and then they had to withdraw that. CNN's had a couple issues. They had that. They had Jake Tapper and a couple others. Jake Tapper, who I happen to really like. A couple others talk about how they thought that Mr. Comey was going to say that Trump had really forced him to try to pull the investigation, the Russian investigation, the investigation against Flynn. And they've had some other issues. But let's sit back and look at this. I think CNN's been doing a pretty good job. Let's look at them just as a show. They've got some really good anchors. Anderson Cooper, 360 is really good. Jake Tapper, I talked about earlier, was good. His brother's pretty good. I always liked Erin Burnett. I liked her from when she was with Mark Haynes on CNBC and came through. And CNN is a very good reporter, a very good anchor person. They have a lot of really good reporters. Their weaknesses, they have too many talking heads. They have 55 people on a panel at the same time. It's hard to know what's going on, but they sure set it up like World WWE, World Wrestling Federation, WWF, where you know who the bad guys are and who the good guys are, and the bad guys are normally the Trump people, which kind of is a setup, but sometimes there's not much they can say. So it's interesting and a lot of fun, but they also, they got rid of Kathy Griffin from the New Year because of that thing she did. It really wasn't funny with President Trump, but as a comedian, she found out you push too hard, you get pushed back. It just kind of happens. You go over the line, you get popped. That's what the First Amendment does to you. So I would say CNN's really not a bad TV station, network station for news. I watch it like I watch Fox and MSNBC every evening, and I would say watch it. And I think you have to give them a lot of credit for standing up, firing people, accepting resignations. And I think the more mistakes hopefully they'll slow down with these, but the more they deal with these mistakes, the more they make sure they don't make them. It's going to make them a much stronger and better news organization. Unless it just gets worse and worse, I just don't see it happening. The guy at the top, Jeff Zucker, is a smart person, and the people there are really experienced and very competent. So I would say watch CNN like you watch all the other stations, but it's not any worse than any of the other stations. It's not fake news. It's real news with a lot of opinion, just like everybody else these days. You just got to have to learn how to separate the news from the opinion. Not easy, but that's what we kind of try to do for you here. Peace.